I pressed play. At first I heard laughter. His laugh. The one I used to love. Then came the sound of sheets rustling. A voice, hers, not mine, and then words I will never forget. Don't worry about her. She's clueless. That voice note wasn't meant for me, but it landed in my inbox at 2:37 a.m., like a glitch in the universe. Like fate decided I deserved to know. And in less than 20 seconds, everything I thought I knew about us fell apart. The man I loved for 5 years. The man I was planning to move in with. The man who held my face 3 nights ago and told me, "You're the only one who gets me." He sent a voice message, meant for someone else, and in it, he exposed everything. His lies, his double life, his casual cruelty. And the worst part? His tone. He didn't sound sorry. He didn't even sound conflicted. He sounded proud, like he was getting away with something. Until he didn't, because that little slip-up, that accidental confession, it cracked open a door I hadn't dared to touch, and what I found on the other side wasn't just cheating, it was betrayal in its rawest, ugliest form. I used to think I'd be the kind of woman who left at the first sign of disloyalty. Turns out, I stayed for 5 more days. But not because I was weak, because I was planning my revenge. My name is Kendra. I'm 29, a pediatric nurse. Calm under pressure, great with chaos, and terrible at spotting liars. I met Marcus 5 years ago at a mutual friend's birthday party. He spilled a drink on my dress, apologized with a mix of charm and panic, and somehow turned a ruined outfit into dinner the next night. He was magnetic, not in a loud, flashy way, but the kind of man who made eye contact like he saw you, who spoke in low tones, laughed at the right times, remembered small things. We started slow. Coffee dates, Sunday markets, late-night calls. By month 3, he was staying over most nights. By month 6, we were basically living together. And by year 1, I thought he was it. We weren't perfect, but we were stable, familiar, safe. Or so I thought. He worked in digital marketing. Long hours, lots of networking events, his phone glued to his palm like a second skin. I didn't question it at first. I was busy with shifts, night rotations, family stuff. Looking back now, I realize I wasn't in a relationship. I was in a performance, and I was the only one who didn't know the script. My friends liked him, my parents tolerated him. And Marcus, he knew exactly how to keep me close. Just enough attention, just enough warmth, just enough lies. Until the voice note, that one accidental message, exposed everything. And once I opened that door, there was no closing it again. Cheating rarely announces itself with fireworks. It seeps in quietly, through missed calls, dodged questions, smirks you weren't meant to see. At first, it was little things. Marcus started taking his phone into the bathroom. Every time, even during a 10-minute Netflix pause. He used to leave it charging in the kitchen overnight. Now, tucked under his pillow like a secret. He got distant, not cruel, just unavailable. Conversations felt thinner. His laugh didn't land the same. His kisses felt like obligations, not moments. He'd say, "Work's just been crazy lately." It always is when you're hiding something, but I told myself not to overthink. Nurses are trained to look for patterns, so maybe I was seeing ghosts that weren't there. But then he changed his passcode. No explanation, just a 4-digit wall between us. I joked, "Hiding state secrets?" He laughed, said, "You watch too much TV?" Then kissed my forehead. A distraction. And I fell for it. He stopped posting us. His feed used to be filled with pictures of our brunch dates, road trips, even the birthday surprise I planned last year. Now, it was all sunsets, gym selfies, and vague quotes about growth and chasing goals. When I asked if everything was okay, he'd smile and say, "Of course, babe. Why wouldn't it be?" That question always bugged me. It implied I was the problem, for even asking. But gut feelings don't lie. They whisper in the moments you try to justify. Like when he said he was working late. And I saw his Uber receipt ping at 8 p.m. from a location that wasn't his office. I asked who he was with. He said, "The team," but didn't name them. Wouldn't even make eye contact. I should have walked then. But love makes you gamble against your own instincts. You want to believe the version of the person you met, not the one they've become. So I stayed, held on, rationalized, until the day he made a mistake, and sent the truth straight to my phone. It was a Tuesday, just after 9 p.m. I was curled up on the couch in scrubs, a bowl of cereal in my lap, watching reruns of Grey's Anatomy. My phone buzzed, a WhatsApp voice note from Marcus. Nothing unusual. He sent them all the time, rambling about his gym sessions, venting about clients, pretending to be romantic with little "miss you, babe" notes. I tapped play and froze, because what I heard wasn't meant for me. It was his voice, yes, but not the one he used with me. This voice was softer, dripping in a tone I hadn't heard in months. Sultry, lazy, playful, like a man wrapped in sheets, not shame. Last night was wild, still thinking about that thing you did with your tongue. Damn, I swear you're gonna be the death of me. Silence, then a chuckle. Anyway, don't text me here for a bit. She's getting suspicious. I'll message you later, babe. Babe? That word had never sounded so filthy. I didn't move, didn't breathe. I just stared at my screen like it had punched me. Then I looked again. The voice note said, 2 minutes ago. He had just sent it. To me. By mistake. That was the twist. The thing that made it undeniable. He hadn't confessed. He hadn't slipped up in conversation. He had quite literally delivered the betrayal to my phone, wrapped in his own damn voice. It took me a minute to move. When I did, it wasn't dramatic. No screaming, no plates thrown. Just a quiet kind of rage, the kind that rearranges your bones. I replayed it 3 times. Each time my stomach turned more. I texted back one word. Nice. He read it instantly, typing bubbles, then they disappeared, then started again, then stopped. He called. I declined. He called again. I blocked him. Then I sat there, in the quiet, not heartbroken, just done. Because that voice note didn't just confirm the affair, it exposed something worse. He wasn't even careful. He wasn't scared of hurting me. He was just scared of getting caught. And now he had been. I didn't cry. Not then. Not after the voice note. Not even the next morning. There's a moment when betrayal hits so deep, your body just locks down. No emotion. No panic. Just clarity. And that morning, I was crystal clear. I wasn't going to be the broken one in this story. So I dressed up. Black blazer, red lipstick, calm face, cold hands. I went to work like nothing happened, replied to emails, handled patients, smiled at people who asked about the wedding. But every spare second, I was plotting. He didn't know I knew, and I wanted to keep it that way. For now. He called again around noon, then texted. Hey babe, I sent a dumb voice note last night. Meant it for a friend. Gym talk. Didn't mean to freak you out. A friend? With a tongue move? I almost laughed. Almost. But instead, I played along. It's fine. Let's talk tonight. He replied with a heart emoji. Idiot. That night, he came over with flowers. The cheap supermarket kind, like petals could erase proof. I opened the door, took the flowers, said nothing. He started talking fast, rambling about misunderstandings and locker room jokes and bad timing. I just let him. I wanted to see how far he'd go with the lie. Then I stopped him mid-sentence. Marcus. What was her name? He blinked. What? The girl in the voice note. The one with the tongue trick. What was her name? His mouth opened. Closed. Opened again. There's no girl. I told you. It was a joke. I stared. Then I pulled out my phone, played the message, out loud, in the silence of my living room. The voice that used to say, I love you, now talking about another woman's mouth. His face dropped. Gone was the swagger, the smile, the fake calm. Just fear. Pure, dumb fear. I didn't mean, listen, it just happened. I was drunk. I didn't know what I was doing. How many times? He didn't answer. So I asked again, this time slower. colder. How many times did you cheat? His eyes flicked to the floor. It wasn't like that. How many? 3. I nodded, then corrected him. 5. He looked up. I tossed a small stack of printed screenshots onto the table. DMs, hotel confirmations, a few blurry pictures I found on his iCloud, because yes, he was dumb enough to sync devices. He sat down, put his head in his hands. I'm sorry. I didn't want to hurt you. Then why did you? He didn't answer. Because there is no answer. Cheating isn't an accident. It's 1,000 micro decisions. Lies stacked like bricks until they build a version of you I don't recognize anymore. I stood up. Get out. Babe, please. Don't babe me. He tried to reach for my hand. I pulled back like he burned me. You don't get to touch me. You don't get to call me. You don't even get to apologize. He begged. I didn't care. I opened the door. You should go now, before I say something I don't regret. He finally left, and I finally let go of the idea, of the fantasy, of the man I thought he was, because when someone shows you who they are, you listen. You'd think I'd break down after that. But no, I felt something closer to peace, because once the truth is out, really out, there's no more pretending, no more guessing, no more hoping, just action. I changed the locks that same night, canceled the joint account, blocked his number, cleared his toothbrush, hoodie, everything he'd left behind. What remained wasn't a broken woman. It was a woman cleaning house, literally and emotionally. But here's the thing, he didn't go quietly. No. 2 days later, he texted me from a new number, sent flowers to my clinic, left a note in my mailbox. You're overreacting. We can fix this. We're good together. Like good meant anything now. Then came the pity parade. His cousin DM'd me. His best friend accidentally ran into me. One of his exes even messaged, trying to warn me again. But now with an I told you so edge. Everyone had something to say, but no one asked what I needed. So I made it simple. I posted a story, just text on a black background. If you cheat, lie, or disrespect the person who trusted you the most, expect the consequences. No drama, just boundaries. It wasn't a rant. It was a declaration, and it lit up my inbox. Some friends were shocked. Some weren't. A few apologized for not speaking up sooner. But the best messages, they came from women I didn't even know. Strangers who said, "Thank you. I needed to see this. I thought I was the only one." That's when I realized this wasn't just my story. It was 1,000 women's stories, just with different names, different lies, different voice notes. And that gave me something better than closure. It gave me purpose. I booked a solo weekend away, somewhere coastal, quiet, left my phone off for 2 days, walked barefoot on sand, read, slept, cried a little, laughed a lot. By the time I got back, I didn't feel wrecked anymore. I felt reset. That's not to say healing was instant, or that betrayal didn't leave marks. It did. But here's the truth they don't tell you about heartbreak. Sometimes the pain is your body's way of saying, thank God you got out. Because the most dangerous kind of love isn't loud or violent, it's silent, subtle. A slow erosion of your self-worth disguised as romance. He loved me, sure, but he didn't respect me. And that's not love worth keeping. Rock bottom has a way of revealing who you really are. And who your real friends are, too. The day I got back from my solo weekend, there was a note slipped under my door. No name. Just, you survived what would have destroyed most people. That makes you dangerous, in the best way. I smiled for the first time in weeks without pain behind it. That week, I started doing the little things again, cleaning my apartment without breaking down in the hallway, making breakfast for one, and actually sitting to eat it. Putting on real clothes, going for walks, breathing deep, on purpose. There's a quiet power in taking care of yourself after someone tried to convince you that you were the problem. It's not loud. It doesn't come with applause. But it changes you. People noticed. Colleagues said I seemed lighter. Patients said, you look rested. Even my mom said, there's something different in your voice. It wasn't revenge. It wasn't bitterness. It was peace. The kind that comes when you stop begging people to love you right and start loving yourself correctly instead. I got back into things I'd abandoned: reading, painting, meeting up with girlfriends without checking my phone every 5 minutes. No more wondering who he was texting. No more tracking someone else's lies just to keep my own sanity. I wasn't performing anymore. Not for him, not for social media, not for the version of me who thought marriage would fix everything. The best part? I didn't need to bounce back because I wasn't returning to who I was. She was gone. In her place was someone stronger, wiser, a woman who'd learned painfully, beautifully, that survival isn't just about getting through it. It's about becoming someone new because of it. Someone who now knows if they lie once, they'll lie twice. If they cheat once, they'll cheat until you catch them. And if they break your heart like it's nothing, then you don't owe them a damn thing. Betrayal doesn't just end a relationship. It rewrites your entire memory of it. You don't just grieve the person, you grieve the version of yourself that loved them. The woman who trusted, believed, waited up, said, "I love you," without second-guessing whether it was a performance. I had to bury her because she wouldn't survive what he did. But the version that came after, she thrives. The truth is, most people won't apologize for the damage they caused. They'll spin it, shrink it, pretend you're exaggerating because that helps them sleep better. But healing isn't about their apology. It's about your clarity. And mine came the moment I stopped asking, why me? And started asking, what did this teach me? It taught me that intuition isn't paranoia. It's protection. That I'm just tired is sometimes code for I'm hiding something. And that when someone pulls away emotionally, it's not always because of stress. Sometimes it's because they've already handed your spot to someone else. It also taught me something bigger. We waste too much time trying to make people see our worth, when the real power is walking away from those who never deserved to witness it in the first place. Let him explain it to the next girl. Let him try to rebuild that false charm, that empty performance, that cheap imitation of love. That's not my business anymore. Because now, I don't chase closure. I create it. I block. I delete. I grow. And I never explain healing to the people who broke me. Clara, she's a footnote. He's a lesson. And I'm the author of this new chapter. Not the girl who almost married a lie. And if you're reading this, if you've ever found yourself holding on to someone who let go of you long ago, let me say this with love and fire. You don't need to get revenge. You don't need to prove your worth. You don't need them to understand what they lost. You just need to rise. Build a life so full, so honest, so vibrant, that even the memory of them feels like a bad dream you finally woke up from. Because at the end of the day, the greatest gotcha isn't exposing their lies. It's living so damn well they fade into irrelevance. This was never about him. This was about me. Finding myself again and loving what I found.